Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Gregory Beischer, President and CEO of Alaska Energy Metals Corp. He joins me to discuss EV market growth and demand, the pressure it faces with supply chain constraints. Gregory, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks very much, Jill. Glad you invited me.
All right, you got it. And while the electric vehicle market experiences growth and surging demand, it also faces significant pressure that could strain the entire supply chain. What underscores this constraint?
Well, I think there's two things. One is the security of supply of metals. The United States is really kind of vulnerable. It's given up metal supply chains, and it would be easy to envision disruptions of metal supplies in the future. But the other part of it is that a lot of the metal that's coming to the United States for EVs comes from countries that don't share our governance, our ethics as far as environmental protection and workers' rights protections goes. And so it kind of is counterproductive to the point of us driving electric vehicles if it's actually causing net harm to the environment.
And so, Gregory, where does the company fit in the EV ecosystem?
Right. Well, we've got a large deposit on American soil in Alaska of nickel with other metals. And so we're the raw material suppliers to the EV industry and other consumers of those metals.
Do you think the goals for the EV market were overstated? And what do you attribute to this? Is it lack of demand? Is it supply chain constraints? Is there just too much demand and manufacturing can't be kept up with that? What do you think is contributing to this?
Yeah, I think it's a variety of factors. I think maybe the goals to electrify our entire society were a bit idealistic and overambitious. My personal feeling is that a lot of the people that wanted an electric vehicle really did go out and buy them and didn't mind the additional cost. But now for others that are on the fence about range and other limitations, I think they're in this sort of wait and see phase of, well, let's make sure these things really work before we buy our next car. And when we need another car, we'll buy one. So the transition's not happening quite as fast, maybe, as some would have hoped. But I can see that the transition is on, and it's not just going to be passenger vehicles, but in the coming decades, certainly buses and trucks and farm equipment and everything else will be electrified. It's coming. There's no stopping it now, but it's not the instantaneous transformation, I guess, that some would have hoped for.
Yeah. Do you think this will change the way American manufacturers approach their EV strategy?
Yeah, perhaps so. Maybe just a bit more go slow, be careful. I mean, these are such huge investments to build multi-billion-dollar battery plants, to retool assembly lines. I mean, these are big bets that car companies are having to make. And so they might have to be a little restrained in their retooling.
And finally, what solutions and/or projects are being deployed to improve nickel supply constraints?
I think the United States is realizing that it is vulnerable and it has to onshore again production of metals, encourage mine development on home turf in our country, but as well at least in free trade countries that share our ethics on the environment.
All right, Gregory, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Yeah, thanks, Jill. Bye.